Well, today kicks off the 92nd annual meeting of the United States Conference of Mayors. This year's gathering is being held in Kansas City, Missouri for the first time. And Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas joins us now to talk about it. Good to see you, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
So this conference, the Conference of Mayors, is taking place in your city for the first time. How have you prepared Kansas City for it, and what does the security apparatus look like?
Well, walking into the conference venue this morning, I walked by probably a dozen Kansas City police officers. We've certainly worked with our federal, state, and local partners throughout the region. And more than anything, we're trying to make sure that while we have publicly accessible public figures, we also have safety all around. We recognize there have been mass shooting events in our country as recently as this weekend. Here in Kansas City, we dealt with a Chiefs Parade shooting. So we take nothing for granted and making sure that everyone here, attendees, both elected officials, often with security, but also many of the businesses and vendors, can be safe.
So, Mayor, you and the other mayors have a long list of things that you want to address, some of them guns, immigration, homelessness, mental health crisis. I just want to ask you about two that I think are issues in many, many, many cities. Number one, affordable housing. I want to ask you what can be done at the city level, and what do you need the state and the federal government to do to help ease this crisis?
Almost everything is being done at the city level right now. We're the ones who are working with permits. All of us, many of us, are building affordable housing trust funds. And so there are two things we probably need. One are resources, dedicated resources from the federal level to help us build more supply. Right now, you are seeing in major cities like mine, like San Francisco, so many others, that we're not building enough housing. We're trying to do what we can to make permitting more efficient, but what we need are fundamental resources from our federal and state partners. The second thing are resources for those who are extremely low income or coming out of homelessness. That is an area where we continue to see ongoing concern. We can build all the housing in the world, but if there's somebody who has been living on the streets, every month additional that they're on the streets, they're more likely to stay homeless longer. We need resources both to support those who deal with dependency, but also those who have known homelessness for too long or are on the margins to make sure they have a place to stay.
And so, same question about what's happening at the city level and what can happen at the state and federal level to help you, but this time about gun violence. As you know, I think the last time the country was focused on Kansas City was during the Kansas City Chiefs Parade, which was supposed to be a joyful time. And then almost immediately we were pivoting to a story about gun violence. What can be done at the city level, and what do you need the state and the federal government to do?
Well, very simply, what we could use from the United States Congress, I doubt that it happens in an election year, but hopefully in early 2025 we get it, is for everyone in Congress to stand with what was the Trump administration's view on the ban on bump stocks. We remember the Las Vegas tragedy. We remember the dozens of Americans who were killed, and at the time, our greatest mass shooting in the history of this country. And I think what we need to see is a way to eliminate mass shooting opportunities by getting rid of bump stocks and actually doing the work that I think the administration, the Trump administration, tried to do, but that the Supreme Court, an activistic conservative Supreme Court, struck down the other day. I think the other thing that we need are more just common sense gun laws relating to the illegal transfer of firearms. These aren't left-right issues. These are common sense issues. If you stand for public safety, you stand for people who are following federal gun laws. You stand for people not being straw purchasers, transfers of guns to minors in particular. While we're seeing homicides down in my city and many others, we're seeing increased transfer to minors, teenagers, and others who are involved in gun violence. And so those are two very simple things that I think Washington can get done that will make all of us safer in major cities and small towns.
Mr. Mayor, let me pivot to something a little bit lighter, which is this fireside chat with the National Women's Soccer League that you're going to be hosting during this conference. Tell us about this discussion and why it's so significant.
You know, of all of the things that have happened in Kansas City over recent years, it never ceases to amaze me how many people say, we love that you have a purpose-built women's professional sports facility, one of the few in the country, if not the world. And we have seen sellouts each game, people who are in love, not just with women's soccer, but the support of women's sports. We look forward to having a conversation that isn't just about soccer, but is about women's professional sports. We're hearing a lot of commentary about the WNBA lately. I'm not getting into it necessarily, but more than anything, we are seeing people saying, you know what? It's time that we recognize, we support, we adequately fund women's professional sports. We build spaces for them. And that's what I look forward to sharing with other mayors as to how they can do it, and hopefully how we see even more of these facilities in the years ahead.
All right, Mayor Quinton, thank you, Quinton Lucas. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great conference.
Thank you so much.